Coming up first, I've been talking to the star of the film, Jennifer Lawrence. Here's a clip from the movie, first of all, featuring her and Lenny Kravitz.
I'm sorry that this happened to you. I'm here to help you in any way that I can.
Most people just congratulate me.
Well, I don't see the point in that. So tonight, at the tribute parade, I take you out and show you off to the world.
So you're here to make me look pretty?
I'm here to help you make an impression. Now, usually they dress people in the clothes from their district.
Yeah, we're always coal miners.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that. I want to do something that they're going to remember. Did they explain about trying to get sponsors?
Yeah, but I'm not very good at making friends.
We'll see.
Next, I'm delighted to say we have Jennifer Lawrence with us. Jennifer, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Thanks very much indeed for talking to us. Hunger Games is the new movie. You star as Katniss Everdeen, and I am like many millions of people around the world who, when they sit there waiting for this film to start, will be thinking, please don't mess this one up. Not you personally, but like everybody. Huge fan of the book after my 12-year-old said, you got to read this. Tell me about Katniss Everdeen, the kind of woman she is and the kind of world she lives in.
She is just a normal girl that has a very simple life in District 12. She's just a hunter, and then she's kind of thrown into this world, in this arena where she has to fight for her life, and then it becomes a bigger fight for her people.
It is essentially, and when you're reading the book and watching the movie, you have to remind yourself that it is essentially one of the grimmest stories that you're going to read, because it is essentially for the violence is pointless, the violence is entertaining, but it is children killing children. And I think it is testimony to the book and also to your treatment of the book that it still feels like that. You know, even though you're engaged in this struggle for survival and we want you to win and we're engaged emotionally with the film, you have to stop yourself every now and again and say, this is a really grim film.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, that's the worst part, is that the entire point of all of this is that these innocent children are being thrown into this arena and being forced to kill each other. And that's, but it had to be something to make these people angry enough to start an uprising, to start this revolution.
Because when Battle Royale tried something similar, that was an 18 certificate, and reading the book, you kind of thought, well, it's not gory, so I can get why that may be a PG-13 or 12A, but the heart of it is so much darker than that.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I think that in many ways we're just kind of kidding ourselves if we pretend like our kids haven't seen anything like this before, or that we are kind of sensitive to this violence, because I think the problem and the message in the movie in a lot of ways is just how desensitized each generation gets to the shock factor, to violence, to sex, to just everything. It's just kind of shocking how much we just have to push and push and push before we're finally entertained.
And you say Katniss is sort of an ordinary girl. She is clearly pretty extraordinary very quickly. The archery skills that you needed to develop for this character, Jennifer, I mean, how good an archer are you?
I'm fairly good now. I had an Olympian teach me, so I really had no choice but to get good.
So, okay, but we see you fighting, we see you falling. How many of your own stunts do you do? Because it's pretty impressive.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, there was a lot of falling. She's one of the clumsiest heroes, I think, in the world. I did. It was funny. I couldn't fall down a hill, but they constantly made me fall out of trees. So I'd say I can't remember. I mean, I had an amazing stunt double who should take credit for most of the falling down the mountain and things like that.
I guess it's important to say, in amongst all the kind of the fighting and the killing, is that the film draws a clear line between, if you like, the good violence and the bad violence, and that there are those that you are fighting against who are clearly malevolent and horrible, and you only do it when you have to. And I guess that's quite an important point, isn't it? Yeah,
but then also, we kind of learn at the end through Cato that these people, they seem like the bad guys. It seems like there's a split between good guys and bad guys, but the bottom line is they're all kids. And even though some are more vicious than others, it's a fight to the death, and this is kind of all they know. And you can't help but feel sorry for them at the same time.
I think the highest tribute I could pay to it, part of it, I enjoyed it very much, and I think you are fantastic as Katniss Everdeen, who is a really, really terrific character, is that I was really nervous all the way through the film, even though I knew the story and I knew kind of where you were going to take it. That sense of
that's the best thing you could have told me. Thank you.
Because the dread starts at the first frame and it doesn't really go. Well, it doesn't really go. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. That was something that I loved very much in the books about her, was that she was vulnerable the entire time, and even though there's more than one book, so you kind of assume she survives, there was never a moment where you thought that she wouldn't die, and I don't think that there's a moment where she thinks she won't die.
A word on T-Bone Burnett, who I was wasn't thinking that we were going to talk about him because he's been such an important part in so many different movies, but apparently he taught you to sing.
He didn't teach me to sing. I'm a terrible singer. I think he just auto-tuned me. There's not, I have the worst voice on the entire planet, but he's a legend, and he's absolutely incredible. One of the best things that's ever happened to music.
So, because what I mean, people they're not thinking this is going to be a musical. You know, Jennifer doesn't burst into song all the way through the film, but there is a lullaby that you sing, which is kind of important.
Yes, but it's not. I'm not singing well, and I don't want to send anybody. I don't want anybody to think any differently before they see it. This is not good singing.
Well, and was it when you're filming a movie like this, and you've done big budget movies and you've done small indie movies and Oscar nomination and so on, do you get a sense of a film's significance or importance, or are you so lost in the kind of Monday to Friday nature of movie making that you never get that sense?
I mean, I think you do. I think that there are definitely times when you're making a movie where you think this is really going to be good. And we definitely had those moments. And then with that comes the terror before you see the movie for the first time, because you think that everything you saw on set that you loved is going to be gone and going to be changed. And then the huge wave of relief if it isn't, like in this case.
And did you know, I mean, was there any talk about how graphic the film could be, given the fact that its core audience is young adult or children, however you want to call it, and yet there's a lot of fighting? I mean, what did you know as you were engaged in all these scenes? What did they tell you?
Well, yeah, I mean, we all knew, because we knew that we had to get a PG-13 rating, but at the same time, the violence and the brutality in this movie, if you water that down, you water down not only this movie, but all of the rest of them, because it's not, I mean, that is what's so horrible about what's going on. That is what's wrong with this world, and it does have to make people angry enough to start fighting back. And when you water that down, you don't really get the sense of, well, why is there an uprising? Why is there a revolution? Why do we need a new hero or a Joan of Arc and to overthrow our government? You know, it's kind of the violence and the brutality is the heart of the movie, and none of us were going to make a watered down version of Suzanne's work. So we just found other ways around it, which I think ended up helping us, just kind of making the violence quick, which is how violence is in real life.
And I don't know if you've seen this Donald Sutherland quote, who plays the president of Panem, this dystopian country, which is where America's heading, according to this film. But Donald Sutherland says this could be the most important American film since I can't remember. But however far back that takes him, but that's some praise.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with him. I think that that's what I loved about these books, was these books they're not only great, they're entertaining. There's but they're important. It's an important message. It's an important story. Something I'm very proud to be a part of. And
you keep mentioning books. So Catching Fire and Mockingjay are the next books. Are they going ahead as the follow-up films?
We think so. I mean, right now I'm focused on just feeding myself and waking up every day and doing this press campaign. And then after this movie comes out, then we'll start moving on to the second one, but hopefully, yes.
Listen, Jennifer, it's been great having you on the show. We really appreciate it and wish you all the best for Hunger Games. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Nice to meet you.
Thanks.
You.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Jennifer Lawrence speaking to me a few days ago. Mark's review of the Hunger Games.